I have attended 3 Trump rallies in the past 2 months and posted them here on this channel, but variety is the spice of life. I feel like I need something a little bit different. I feel like you, the viewer, needs something a little bit different as well, which is why today I am in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I just attended this. A Kamala Harris, Joe Biden joint event. Well, I tried to attend it. Didn't exactly go as planned. It was strange to say the least, so let's get into it and let's see if we can go find the elusive Kamala Harris. So I made my way up to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania recently for what I thought was a Kamala Harris, Joe Biden joint rally, which, according to this article, was supposed to take place at the Labor Day parade downtown. However, this article didn't even come out until the morning of the event, and I wouldn't find details on its exact location, which was not at the parade, until 2 hours prior to when Kamala and Joe were set to speak. So, join me as I run around Pittsburgh for this episode of
Well, she sneaks around the world from here to Carolina. She's a sticky-fingered filcher from Berlin down to Belize. She'll take you for a ride on a slow boat to China. Tell me, where in the world is
Kamala Harris?
The ABC News presidential debate starts right now.
This is an ABC News special, the most consequential moment of this campaign. Kamala Harris,
Together, we will chart a new way forward.
Donald Trump,
I was planning on making an entire video about just the debate, but the live stream on ABC's website where I was recording it kept lagging, so my recording got all screwed up.
Good evening, I'm David Muir, and thank you for joining us for tonight's ABC News presidential debate. Vice President Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump are just moments away from taking the stage in this unprecedented race for president.
And I'm Lindsay Davis. Tonight's meeting could be the most consequential event of their campaigns, with Election Day now less than 2 months away.
And that brings us to the rules of tonight's debate. 90 minutes with 2 commercial breaks. No topics or questions have been shared with the campaigns. No pre-written notes allowed.
There was a lot of controversy surrounding this debate regarding the fairness of it. Apparently, people thought that the ABC moderators were a bit hostile toward Trump and seemed to favor Harris. There were even some reports that an ABC News whistleblower said in an affidavit the network conspired with the Harris campaign, giving her topics and questions in advance, while agreeing that others were off limits. Viewers also noted how Trump was fact-checked multiple times, while Kamala wasn't fact-checked once. But regardless of whether any of that is true, my initial thought after first watching this debate was that it was not a good night for Trump, and Kamala overperformed. I think Trump forgot what it was like to debate someone who is capable of forming full sentences, even if she may need some magic earrings and fact-checkers to help her out along the way. But she crushed on women's issues, and that could be what swings this election. Apparently, abortion was the top search term during the debate, and that should tell you everything you need to know. Now, a lot has happened since my last video. Queen of the Basic Bitches Taylor Swift has officially endorsed Kamala Harris, and Trump was nearly assassinated again on his own golf course in Florida. Something we'll get into later on in the video, believe me, we'll come back to this. There's also been reports that Harris has been bussing people into her rallies, staging events, and doing all manner of shady things to fake a successful cross-country presidential campaign. I won't comment on the validity of these claims, but there's plenty of evidence online to support them if you feel like seeking it out. True or not, these are pretty wild claims, so when I heard that Kamala Harris and President Biden were holding a joint rally in Pittsburgh on Labor Day, I decided to pack my bags, hit the road, and go see what the heck was going on with this strange campaign for myself.
All these people want to know, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Carmen Sandiego.
Am I the only one who remembers this show? Any other 90s kids out there who remember this? It was this crazy mystery puzzle show where you had to find Carmen Sandiego, and she traveled the world, and she was this thief, and you had to find out where she was located. It was nuts. While I was filming this video, it was all I could think of. Where in the world is Kamala Harris? Just look at that picture. I mean, it even looks like her. Welcome, my friends, to beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I am outside of PPG Place in downtown Pittsburgh. I just caught the tail end of the Labor Day parade, and I am here to go to what I thought was a Kamala Harris, Joe Biden rally. But it turns out it's more like a closed-door event at a union hall. I just waited in line for about a half an hour to, try to get in. It turns out that line was just for free food that the union put out for the people showing up. So I don't think I can get in there, but I'm gonna go give it another try. I'm pretty much just gonna walk into the building and see what happens. Now keep in mind, by Labor Day morning, the day of the event, only 3 pieces of information had been made available to the public regarding the exact location of what the media initially described as a rally. According to them, the first thing I knew for sure was that this event would be held at a union hall somewhere in Pittsburgh. Second was that it would be at the Labor Day parade, and the third clue was that Kamala and Joe wouldn't arrive in Pittsburgh until at least 4 to 5 p.m. That's it. I spent days researching this, and those were the only details I could find anywhere. So going off of that information, I looked up the parade route and discovered this place, the United Steelworkers Union building, where the parade was scheduled to end. To me, this seemed like a logical spot for the rally to be held, so that's where I headed first. However, by the time I got to the end of the parade route around noon, it was nearly over. I didn't realize this parade was supposed to end so early, and this had me puzzled. How could this Kamala Biden rally be at the parade if the parade ended hours before they're even set to arrive? Now, on one level, this secrecy makes perfect sense from a security standpoint. This is the sitting president and vice president of the United States we're talking about here, but outside of that factor, the lack of transparency with this campaign is quite strange to me because I'm used to the Trump campaign, and if I wanted to find out where Trump was going to be, I could simply Google Trump rally schedule, and the first thing that pops up is this, events@donaldtrump.com. This is where I found the 3 rallies I've attended these past few months. You can sign up and get all the information you need immediately sent to your email and by text in seconds. It could not be easier. But on the other hand, when it comes to a Kamala Harris rally, well, here's what you find when you Google that. No official schedule in sight, a bunch of random news articles. This one says she'll be in Arizona on Friday for a campaign stop. Again, that's pretty vague. Is it a public rally? Can I go? What's a campaign stop even mean? Other articles tell you where rallies were that happened 6 days ago. Then there's a bunch of fundraising crap, but no real official way to sign up for and attend events, not that I could see, at least on the first couple of pages. It's about 1 o'clock right now. Harris and Biden aren't supposed to be here until more like 4 or 5 o'clock. I think their event is at 5. So I'll stick around for a few more hours and see if I can see anything, but I'm gonna go try and walk right into the building and see if they stop me. I couldn't bail on the spot and go back to my car before I knew for sure whether or not this was the place the event was gonna be held, so I popped my head inside to see if I could ask somebody if they knew. Going undercover to find out if this is the right building where the Kamala Harris event is supposed to be. Do you know if this is where the Kamala Harris event is tonight? Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what maybe this is it. Yeah, all right. Well, I asked the guy at the front desk if that was the right building where the Kamala Harris-Joe Biden event was going to be, and he said he didn't think so. No one had vetted him. No one gave him any information. So it looks like that's not the right place. A lot of people were asking him, apparently. So, I guess I'll keep looking. Got a few more hours before this is supposed to happen. This video will be, where in the world is Kamala Harris? Remember that old show? Or maybe Where's Waldo? Where are you, Kamala? This super secret event. I don't get it. Fuck is this? Well, that was a big giant fail. After researching this for days and days, finding essentially no information on the internet about this joint Kamala Harris, Joe Biden event here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on Labor Day. I found some information. I have finally come up with where this thing is being held 2 hours prior to the event. I'm just now figuring this out. Kamala and Joe will be at the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers on the south side of the city. So that's where I'm headed. I doubt I can get in. I think you probably have to be a member of that union to get in there, and I don't think this is open to the public, but I'm gonna show up and see if there's anything worth seeing. After failing to find Kamala at the parade, I finally discovered a local news article that revealed this event would be held at a different union hall about 15 minutes away. So I hopped in my car and made my way there, hoping it wasn't too late to catch a glimpse of the elusive Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Also, I'd like to apologize for how long it took me to get this video finished. I know Labor Day was about a month ago at this point, so my bad. Life's been just kicking me right in the beanbag lately. Hopefully things settle down soon and I can get the next video out in a more timely fashion. Well, cops have all the roads blocked off around here, so I think I'm in the right place. The vibe at this event was weird. Look at this guy counting a huge stack of money before selling any of the merchandise behind him. I was one of the only people walking around at this point, and this was like an hour before the event. How does that work? The whole thing felt very staged, and, well, just watch until the end of this clip and you'll see what I mean. Well, I was just informed that this is indeed a closed event. I will not be able to get in, but I'll hang around and be a nuisance. That's what I do. And go get something to eat while I'm waiting. I think it's still another hour away from going down, but came all this way, so let's see what we can see. I found this amazing little place to eat called Nadine's, and I hope they're paying this woman triple because she was doing 3 people's jobs. She was slinging drinks, cooking the food, serving the food. It was nuts. Amazing burger, by the way. But I kept getting the stink eye from the other people in the bar, which confused me until I realized I was wearing a Ravens hat in a Pittsburgh bar. Stupid me. I also overheard this guy say he couldn't get into the event and he's in this union. All right, just had an amazing meal at Nadine's. If you're ever in Pittsburgh, check out Nadine's. Incredible. Headed back to the event. Should be close to game time. Let's see what's going on.
A t-shirt, $10. Yeah. Buttons are $5.
I made my way outside of the building with the rest of the crowd, and one thing I noticed was that there was a lot of press, like a ton of press. And now that I've been to several Trump rallies, one of which, like this event, I couldn't get into either, I felt a huge difference in tone. Even at the Trump rally I was turned away from because it filled up, there were thousands of happy, enthusiastic, fired up people waiting outside. But for this event, it felt cold, calculated, and a bit tense. And on an enthusiasm scale, I'd give it about a 2 out of 10 at best. I mean, there were people in the crowd who were perplexed as to why they couldn't see Kamala and Joe, why they couldn't get any information, why they didn't find out about this until the very last minute. It just felt very strange, very manufactured, and very, very fake. Well, this is as close as we're getting, I guess. Just talked to Secret Service. This is it. The Harris-Biden rally. It never was. Would have been nice to know it was a closed event with more advance notice than 2 fucking hours. But whatever. I found it very interesting that you heard a few people shout, "We love you, Joe," but there wasn't one person who showed any sort of love for Kamala Harris. This is a Kamala event featuring Joe Biden, right? So, where's the love for Kamala? What is she, chopped liver? I thought America loved this woman and was ready to elect her into the White House. At least, that's what the press tells us. Once the motorcade stopped, a bunch of very important looking people started to spill into the building. Plenty of VIPs, journalists, and cops. Of course, none of us poor, foolish voters standing out in the crowd had any shot of even sniffing the front door. Where in the world is Kamala Harris? Right here, apparently. Just not for us.
I wish I could.
They would rather take you.
We're not going. We can't see them because they won't let us in. We only seen her hand waving off the car.
Quiet. You can hear a freaking pin drop. Nothing. Where's all that excitement that I hear so much about in the media? It's almost like it's manufactured. Let's pause right here before I wrap this video up. Now, this was the last shot of the event I got because apparently I filmed the wrong cop, and as soon as I stopped recording and put my phone away, he came over to me mad as hell, demanding to know who I was and why I was filming, letting me know he did not appreciate that I was exercising my First Amendment rights, even though literally everyone else was filming too. So, to this wannabe Nazi cop and all his leftist pals, this next segment is for you. Let me quickly address the subject I said I'd bring back up earlier in this video, the most recent Trump assassination attempt. Now, I won't go too heavily into the details since they are widely available online, but essentially some nutbag camped out for 12 hours at Trump's golf course in Florida with an AK-47 and a GoPro before Secret Service agents spotted him as Trump approached. They fired at the subject, causing him to flee, and he was later apprehended. Now, I have put out several shorts that YouTube absolutely refuses to share, giving me next to no impressions. These shorts have one simple message in common. We need to blame the left for this violence. They have been calling Trump Hitler in the liberal media for a decade now, and these attempts on his life are a direct result of this constant fear-mongering. We must stop letting the Democrats hide behind this veneer of being a party of do-gooders, champions of the underdog, the downtrodden, and the oppressed, always on the morally righteous side of every issue. Therefore, they can do no wrong. Maybe this was true at one point in time, but it's clear that the Democrats are now the party of violence, and we need to label them as such. For evidence of this, look no further than Antifa, the George Floyd riots, the lawlessness we see in every single major American city, the endless stream of illegal migrants pouring over our borders, the weaponization of our legal system, and the constant barrage of dangerous rhetoric that has nearly gotten their chief political opponent killed twice in just a few months. So, I'll state this here plain as day since YouTube won't let me say it in a short. Democrats are the party of violence and societal destabilization. Let's all label them properly from this point on and stop letting them pretend they're the good guys. Well, I'm out of here. Apparently I'm not as slick as I thought I was, and I was filming everything, including some cop who woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning, and he came over to me and he was like, "Hey, what are you filming? Blah, blah, blah. You look very suspicious." So he took my ID, and it was just an unpleasant encounter, and I got plenty of film anyway. So that's it for the video, guys. That was a unpleasant encounter, a little bit creepy. I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to have my phone confiscated. So from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at a supposed Harris-Biden rally. more like a Harris-Biden closed event. You got to be a VIP to get in there, and I'm a VUP, a very unimportant person. Peace.